Let's talk about the activity, How Big is a Foot? We'll start by reading the book, How Big is a Foot by Ralph Miller. Now, the king decides that he's going to build a bed for his queen, and he measures the bed using his feet. Now, he takes small footsteps to find the length and width. Then he tells the builder of the bed how large of a bed he needs, how many feet long and how many feet wide. Okay, but then the person who was actually building the bed had smaller feet, and so there were some issues that come up with the size of the bed. So once the story is done, we will continue the context of the story and have students build a bed of a certain size. For younger students, for kindergarten and first grade, we'll ask them to build a bed that is 2 units wide and 3 units long. And so essentially what we're doing is we're not trying to look at perimeter area necessarily with younger students. We're simply trying to have them build a rectangle that has side lengths of a certain amount. So they can use their chenille stems to build their rectangle. Okay, I don't quite have the space here. But essentially what we want them to recognize is we want them to see what those properties are of a rectangle, right? That opposite sides are the same length, okay? So we can ask them some guiding questions such as, if this side is 3 units, how long is this side? And how do you know? So in order for it to be a rectangle, they have to have the same number of units on opposite sides. We also can link it to measurement in the sense that when we're counting units, our units should not have gaps or overlaps. They should be as close to end as we can. Now with pipe cleaners or chenille stems, they can get a little bit bendy, so encourage the students not to bend them too much. But we want to make sure we're as close to end as we can. Now, students can then be prompted to build beds of different sizes. For example, the older students in 2nd and 3rd grade, they will build the queen's bed, and then they will be asked to build as big a bed as they can using the chenille stems that they have. So if they have 20, 23, 25 chenille stems, they're going to maximize the size of the bed using the stems that they have. We can even extend that by asking them, how many chenille stems did it take to build your bed? So the students could be calculating perimeter, or we could ask them, how much space does your bed take up? And they could attempt to calculate the area of the bed. Now, for 4th and 5th graders, they'll be essentially doing the same thing as the 2nd and 3rd graders in that they're building beds of a new size. However, they're given certain parameters of the bed to build. So they are given the idea that once we've built this bed, we now need a new bed that is twice as wide. What would the dimensions be? What would the new area be? What would the perimeter be? And then, okay, now we have a giant bed where it's twice as wide as the queen's bed and twice as long. How big is this bed going to be? How does it compare to the original bed? And so each time you present a new challenge to the students, be careful not to step in and help too quickly. Give them an opportunity to have some productive struggle with the task. Encourage them to combine partnerships so that they have enough chenille stems to try to make a model of their bed and figure it out. They could also use their whiteboards to draw a model if they'd prefer that.